Hãy để mỗi lần tắm là một lần chăm sóc cho làn da của bạn với sữa tắm cá ngựa Our Turmeric Perfume Shower Gel, một sản phẩm từ nước Đức, được chiết xuất từ các loài hoa thiên nhiên, nhiều loại vitamin và protein. Sữa tắm cá ngựa không chỉ làm sạch da mà còn dưỡng ẩm, mang lại một làn da mịn màng, căng tràn sức sống. Với hương nước hoa quý phái lưu lại suốt 24 giờ, sản phẩm từ thương hiệu Our Turmeric đã chinh phục hàng triệu người dùng tại châu Âu. Tại Sydney, sản phẩm hiện đang được bán tại siêu thị Nam Phương ở Cabramatta và siêu thị Cycle ở Cali Heights. Để làm đại lý phân phối, xin liên lạc đài VTA qua số 0452 067 535.
Có một loại nước mắm thuần khiết, sinh ra để làm nên sự khác biệt, gói trọn tinh hoa của biển cả, đánh thức hương vị đậm đà thượng hạng, đẳng cấp, sang trọng, là món quà tình thân ý nghĩa để luôn nhắc ta nhớ về cội nguồn. Nước mắm Hoàng gia, tinh hoa đất Việt.
Nước mắm Hoàng gia hiện nay đã có mặt tại tất cả các tiểu bang trên toàn quốc Úc Châu với 3 kích cỡ khác nhau, bao gồm 250ml, 500ml và 750ml. Tại Melbourne, nước mắm Hoàng gia đang được phân phối bởi công ty Osvid Foods và bán lẻ tại các siêu thị và nhà hàng. Mọi chi tiết xin liên lạc anh Tony Bùi 0481 177 996.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our Sunday show on Viet TV Australia. I'm Anthony Nguyen, and today I've brought back our loan specialist from the Loan Lounge Cabramatta, Thứ Hai. Now, last week, T has given us very good detailed information on the new 5% scheme on how people buy homes, right? And, because with limited time that we have on this show, I brought T back because I have more questions that I need to ask. And I'm sure you viewers out there have the same mentality as me, that we need more information because buying a house is such a very big thing, T. Especially, in Vietnamese, they say, an cư lập nghiệp. It means you have to have a roof over your head, okay. And then you can go out there and make money and all that stuff after, right? But the roof over your head is one of the most important part, especially for a family. Okay, so T, to carry on our conversation. So we've spoken about the 5% scheme. And, if you guys have any more questions, please call T on her mobile number, which we will have on screen for you. If you have any more questions that you need. She also speaks Vietnamese really well.
You gotta stop.
The
expectations so high.
That's all right, T. Stop being very modest. So if you're only Vietnamese speaker, please call her because she can answer in all Vietnamese or English for you. Okay. T, let's carry on.
Yes.
Another scenario. Okay?
Mr. Scenarios, let's go.
Now, Anthony has bought a home before, but he has now sold it.
Okay.
So technically, he no longer qualifies for the first home buyer's grant. Okay? Now, I want to buy a house that's worth $1 million. I've got $100,000 saved, so I've got 10% saved. Is that possible?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, to add on to that scenario, my parents also own a house.
Yeah, okay, cool. So you're really throwing in some spanners in the works here now. All right, so let's say, we've established that you're not a first home buyer anymore.
Yes.
At the moment, you don't own property as you've sold yours and
Yes.
you've discharged it. And now your goal is to
Get back in the market.
get a bigger home or something, right?
Yes.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
You've got 100K in the bank. Where's your stamp duty? We spoke about this, remember?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
But that's why I'm asking.
All right,
That's why I'm asking. Because for someone, me personally anyway, I don't know about most people.
Yep.
For us to save $100,000 is very hard, right? So once this person saved $100,000, in his mind, I'm going to go buy a home.
Yeah.
Most people would think like that.
So there's a few checklists, I'm going to call it, okay? So let's just say borrowing money or proving to the bank for you to obtain finance is not an issue, right? Let's say you've got a very strong income, serviceability is not an issue.
Now, sorry to jump in. When you say strong income, what would be considered a strong income?
Sure.
Like, give us a ballpark number so we know. Because we know that right now in Sydney, the average income is $80,000. Would that be considered a strong income?
That's an average income, which you just
That's
touched on, right?
So what would be
So
a strong income?
let's say 120K. Okay?
Okay.
I think, yeah, 120K.
$120,000. Now, let me put that into perspective for someone. $120,000 right now
Yeah,
would be
single person, 120K income, full-time, permanent employee. Yeah.
so that person would be somewhat of a professional in order to earn that type of money.
Look, to be honest
Yeah.
with you, we've got clients that are, working like hectic in the factories, hectic overtime hours,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
example.
way overtime.
But also, yes,
Yeah.
your professionals
Yeah.
at 120K
Yeah.
gross
Yeah.
salary. Yeah, so
Okay.
120K salary, I should say.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about it. Carry on.
So look, first of all, remember, we're not talking about first-home buyers anymore, right? For a 1 mil property, stamp duty is probably about 45K. That comes out of your own pocket. So that comes straight out of that 100K savings that you mentioned. Okay, so now really you've got 55K for a deposit to buy 1 mil, right?
Is that sufficient?
That is not sufficient. However, your parents, you said, have equity.
Yes.
Right? So what that means is his parents have property that could help you borrow the rest of the money, as long as they're happy to go guarantor for you. Yeah, so they're actually putting up their property as collateral to the bank. So now the bank holds your parents' property, and now the property that you're buying. So yeah, so essentially you can borrow the rest of the money.
Yeah. Right.
But without the support of your parents, no, that scenario.
So without the guarantor,
yeah,
it's not doable
it's
at
not
$1 million.
doable. No, because you've got 55K.
55K.
Yeah.
So that stamp duty portion is actually quite important.
It's very
you see,
it's hefty.
and
Yep.
great that you bring it up, because you see a lot of people, when they come and they think they got $100,000 as a deposit, but really they don't, because they haven't factored in stamp duty.
Yeah.
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 Now, is there a way to get around stamp duty being paid upfront out of your own deposit?
Stamp duty needs to be paid as your own contribution, right? So it can come in the form of cash, so or you can borrow it as long as there's a second property as collateral.
So there has to be that second property
Yes,
in
yes.
order to borrow stamp duty.
Yes.
I
yeah.
see. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's it does come out of your own pocket.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Good information. All right. So that means Anthony cannot buy a $1 million property and in that scenario unless his parents owns their house. Now, let me throw another twist into this scenario here. What if the parents don't fully own this house and they still have a mortgage on it?
Yep, and that's very normal,
Okay,
by the
yep,
way. You
yeah.
know, that's very normal. But still, what we have experienced is our parents would have bought their property
That's
many
right.
years ago, right?
That's right.
And what's really cool is obviously the equity over the time. So even if they've got a mortgage still over that property, they can still go guarantor for you. We see that scenario day in, day out, right?
Because not many people will pay off their house, right?
Yeah, and
Very
it's purely
difficult.
because at the same time, like they don't want to pay it off.
Yes.
Right? Because they want have the bank still hold the title so that someday they may want to borrow again, right? So lots of parents do this,
Yes.
where they don't pay it off to the $0.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of equity where they can actually,
Yeah, gotcha. So let's touch on to this word equity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I don't know much about loans.
Yeah.
So from what I know is that, let's say equity is like, I buy a house for 1 million and now the house is worth 1.2 million, for example.
Great.
So does that mean equity means
The $200K?
$200,000? It means equity?
Yep. Okay. Really,
Yeah.
really cool. All right. So
Yeah.
let's dumb it down a little
Yes,
bit.
please. Yeah.
So equity. First of all, what is equity? Equity is just asset. It's the value of the asset, right? So you're right. You've got 200K equity. However, banks will only lend you up to 80% of what's actually your property value.
Okay.
Yeah?
I don't understand that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Without you having to pay lender's mortgage insurance, right? So it's a oh my gosh, what's that word? I've got a mind blank here.
That's right. So
So
let's say that same scenario, right? Anthony bought a house at 1 million.
Yeah, let's do 1 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now the property is worth 1.2 million.
Okay, so
Anthony thinks in his head that he has $200,000 equity, but you're saying that the bank will only equity 80% of the 1 million or the 80% of the 1.2 million?
1.2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means it's still 1 million.
Yeah. but remember,
Yeah.
Anthony bought at 1 million doesn't mean that he borrowed 1 million. He can't borrow 1 million,
That's right, yeah.
He would have at most, all right, let's just say without needing
Yeah.
to pay lender's mortgage insurance, is 800K. 80%.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So that means he has the 200 from the 1 million and now the extra 200 from the equity.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Anthony, again, needs to be able to prove that he can borrow another 200K. Yeah? So let's just say whilst your property is growing and performing, your income remains at 120. What then?
Yeah.
So it kind of needs to work hand in hand. Whilst your property is growing in value, and we see that, so does your income. It needs to actually show that you can afford another 200 grand. Yeah.
So from what I'm gathering, T,
Yeah.
the real like solution to everything is that your income really needs to, the higher your income is, the more you can borrow, right? It's not even about how much equity
Yes,
or
correct.
down payment,
Yep.
right?
So to give you like a really simple explanation, right? Let's just say our parents, right? They may owe peanuts or
Yes.
have very small mortgage. But if they're retired and they're on Centrelink, for example,
Yeah.
the bank's not going to go
They're
and
not
say,
gonna
oh,
let
we're
them.
going to give you a mil. You know, it needs to, you need to actually have collateral, equity, but also prove serviceability. Yeah. But, you know, what Anthony can do, right, is let's say he's got equity and let's say, you know, post purchasing the first property, he's now married and his wife also works. We can put her on
Yeah.
to co-borrow with you. Yeah, even though she doesn't own the property with you.
Yeah.
So, and that's through like a spousal, like co-borrowing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
to increase the capacity to borrow.
Very interesting. Okay, so because a lot of clients of mine recently, in the last 2 years, they are from Vietnam.
Ah, yep.
Okay, so they sold their property in Vietnam.
Okay.
And cashed out like 600,000-700,000.
Oh,
right?
yeah, nice.
And then they come over here, and then they want to buy property here.
Yeah.
But that's their problem that they're facing. They have a very big deposit,
Yeah.
but they don't work. So in that scenario, is that doable?
Yeah.
Let's say a person wants to buy $1 million property again, and they have a down payment of 500,000. So they got 50% down payment.
Yeah.
But they're on Centrelink.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that doable?
Okay. So what I would think is, would you lend somebody that's not working? Right. Would
but
you lend somebody money
that
to-
is not working.
that is not working? Now Centrelink.
But they have 50%.
Yeah, but how would they repay the 500K? Right. But anywho,
Yeah.
so you touched on like but they're still receiving income, right?
Like minimal,
Being
yeah.
Centrelink.
Yes.
Okay. Now Centrelink, not all Centrelink payments are deemed an acceptable income. Okay. So family tax benefit is one. You know, certain pensions are.
Yeah.
But if you're on New Start or youth allowance,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's a no-no. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Gotcha.
yeah, so if just because you're receiving Centrelink payments doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to borrow. But if you're wanting to borrow 500 grand, that's probably where the
That's gonna be
tricky part
difficult.
is. Yeah, the difficult part is. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But also, you know, again, going back to purpose, are we buying an investment property? Because we can utilize the rental income that
Yeah.
you will be receiving when
Yeah.
you're purchasing an investment.
Which
So that
counts
will-
as an income.
Yep, and then there's all the negative gearing and all that jazz as well.
Yeah.
It is a challenge for
Yeah.
clients
Yeah.
in those situations. But it's
Okay.
not doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So let's dive into that now, because I was gonna go right into the whole investor stuff,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
let's say new scenario. Anthony already bought his house that he's living in,
yeah.
but now
Okay.
he wants to buy a rental property for, later, once he turns 67 years old when he retires,
Yep.
he has some form of asset /
Whatever, right?
monthly income. Yeah. So, he bought this house, let's say 2 years ago, for 1 million. So clearly he hasn't paid much of it off. But now, his work is doing okay. He has a little bit more income.
Yeah.
Now he wants to, one, use some equity to buy another one.
Yep. Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's good. And we see that a lot, right?
Yeah.
So again, that checklist, affordability is not an issue. You can service it. We cash out the equity to use as a deposit for your next property.
Yeah.
But will you be able to afford another $1 million property?
That's another question,
Yeah,
right?
that's a go speak to your broker question.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let me break that down for what T just said when she says cash out your equity.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so Anthony bought a house for $1 million. Now the house is worth $1.2 million 2 years later. So this $200,000, she said cash out the equity in order to deposit on the next house.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So guys, that's how we're going to dumb it down for you guys to understand. So when you buy a house at 1 mil, now your house is worth 1.2 mil. You are allowed to access this increase as called equity financing in order to use that as a deposit if you want to buy your second home. All right. Now, everything, no matter what you think, how much money you have in your bank, how much deposit you have, or how much your parents going to give you, everything from what I've gathered so far is very dependent on how much income you earn per year.
So it's income versus expenditures and commitments, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
can you continue to maintain your lifestyle? Can you continue to maintain your repayments, your current repayments? And can you actually, have capacity to make repayments for future borrowing?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So let's say if Anthony then now has 2 children. So I would assume the bank takes that into consideration, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, if you've got 2 dependents, your monthly household expenditures is going to be more than someone that is single with no kids or married with no kids. So, could it be private schools, tuition, health insurance, all of that, all those necessities that you cannot commit to, right? So they all factor in and they will reduce your borrowing capacity, of course. Yeah. And
Man.
that's just a very typical life phase. Yeah.
T, from what I can hear, man,
Don't be discouraged,
it's difficult, man. Like, let's say,
Change careers, Anthony.
a husband and a wife, and look, I'm just going to work with worst case scenario, Sydney is saying is $80,000 per year. Husband and a wife, $160,000. Really, man, it's starting to get very, very difficult to start buying homes here.
Yeah.
And 2, if you want to buy that second one, it's even more difficult, right? Unless you're making bank.
But again, you just got to go back to why are we investing and what are we doing it for? If it's for the 67-year-old Anthony in the future so that he can receive it, then maybe it's not about, the capital growth per se, So, each property you purchase may not just be for capital growth. It could be for retirement. So, and purchase within your budgets, within your means, especially for couples that are looking to, and I love it. I love talking to couples where they go, and T, in 2 years' time, we plan on having a baby. And they incorporate all of this in their planning. Yeah. So they don't overstretch. So yeah.
Man, from what I can see, like
you're so discouraged. Don't be discouraged.
I'm just thinking out loud, like. I can see why all over the news and all that stuff they're saying there's a housing crisis.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for homeowners, investors. Yeah, and now after chatting with you and finding all the finer details, I can see why. Now especially like the 1.5 million plus. All right, cool. But when I go and sell homes now at the 1.5 million and back. Yeah. Because of this new 5% scheme, competition's everywhere.
Absolutely.
So even if you want to buy this house, it's going to be very difficult because you got so much people fighting you for it. And then obviously if you're going to buy
Yeah.
a house that's over 1.5, you're going to be quite rich in order to do that.
Yeah.
So I can see that there's a stretch, or like there's, you know, a pounding force on
Yeah.
both ends. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Difficult. All right, so T, what other things in, like, you know, what tricks of the trade do you have that you can give us, like a crash course, 5-minute, you know,
No,
lesson?
I wouldn't. I think, let's talk about rent investors.
Yes, please.
Yeah?
Yes.
So I know that we've been talking a lot about like purchasing a property to live in, and we've been pretty like, you know, defining that, underlying it quite.
I love
right?
that. Rentvesting. That's
That
the
is
new. That's the
really
new
coming
concept.
down.
It
quite
is, right?
new,
And I feel like this is talking to
that aspect,
like the
rent-
millennials and younger.
1000%, and that's what.
So-
myself right now.
Yeah.
Am rentvesting.
So therefore, rent investing is like, you know, you're renting in a area that you love, you know, the lifestyle that you want to, you know, kind of continue, not, but you can't buy that expensive, if that makes sense, right? So then, but you also want to be property owners. So you can go and look at purchasing property to receive rental income. It's going to help, you know, with your, I don't know, tax and whatnot. But
Yeah.
and then continue to rent and live where you want.
Yes.
You know, and not need to kind of uphold the. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah. So like
that's another. I think that's a great
1000%,
option.
and that's like a new concept, rentvesting lately. That
Yeah.
you know, any viewer wants to look at it. So what it means is
Imagine
that
buying your first home at 1.5 mil. That's crazy.
I know. And think about this: when you live in a home, you have your land tax,
Yeah, your
if
water,
you
your council.
your water, your council, on top of your mortgage repayment and everything else. So if you live in a house, to me, it's just money out.
Well, I think you're the one that actually taught me this, right? The home that you live in isn't making you money.
That's right.
Right. So
They
you got
call
to
it
treat
a liability.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
well, you know,
Yeah.
other than the only time it
Yeah.
is actually helps you is when
Yeah.
there's equity.
Yes.
Right. And
Yeah.
and I remember like this guy. Yeah, you told me this
Yeah.
many years ago.
Yeah,
So, but with your investments, you treat it like it's a business,
that's right.
right? So you don't. And I remember we went. Yeah. Anyways, I remember you were like, "You're not buying a property to live in. Put all your investor's hat on." This is like, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. And
Yeah, when I started reading
Right?
some investment books, thinking I know.
it was page 14. But no, like,
Yeah.
and true to today, even more so,
Yeah.
right?
More so now, especially with the prices going so crazy right now.
Yeah.
For
It's 'cause
anyone
you-
to live, it's
and-
just too expensive.
So we're like in the Cabramatta region, right? Buying, let's say, 1 mil, sometimes you got to like really renovate, full renovations.
I'm just
too,
going to put it
so-
straight out there. There is no $1 million property in Cabramatta anymore. Okay? For anyone to buy a house around the area that I sell in, you're looking at 1.3.
Okay, there you go.
1.3, and you're still going to need minor renovations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
rent
it's
investing
difficult.
is
yeah.
a wonderful option.
So let me break down rent investing. You rent where you live.
Yep.
For example, a nice 3-bedroom apartment,
Yep.
overseeing the water, for
Yeah.
example. I mean, it's if you work it out, it's still actually a lot cheaper, even if you find those luxury homes, than if you were to buy a $1.3 million home and live in it with the repayments, with the council payments, with the water payments, with all these things
Yeah.
that you got to
and
pay.
just imagine
Yeah.
like also like purchasing a nice luxe 3-bedroom apartment. Think of your strata.
Yes,
as well, by
that's
the way.
right, that's right.
But if you're renting, for instance, you can continue living in that home, but
Yeah.
you're investing in
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah, and get this, T, like, let's say you're renting, right? Your aircon doesn't work.
Oh,
Hey, can you call an aircon guy in to fix this, please? No problem. The agent will come get someone fixed. But if you're living in your house, if your aircon blows, you have to pay
it's your
for it.
own expense. Yeah.
You know, those little things actually add up. So yes, look into it, guys. Rentvesting is actually a new concept,
Yeah.
and it's been accepted widely by
Yeah.
a lot of big name investors.
Okay.
Warren Buffett coined it. Grant Cardone from Cardone Capital coined
This
it.
is his textbooks kind of.
Yeah.
This is
know?
the version of Anthony that I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
For you
Nice.
guys that don't know, I love reading books. I'm
Yeah.
such a little bit of a nerd. Yeah. So
Understatement,
Yeah.
but sure.
yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for that, T.
Yes.
Look, I mean, there are more questions, but there's just not enough time, right?
Yeah.
So once I get into these things, I can just ask questions.
You're
for
so
days.
passionate about it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So once again, thank you very much for tuning in for our Sunday show.
Yay.
I'm Anthony Nguyen. This is T Ha from the Loan Lounge. If you guys ever need any of your loans, please reach out to her. She can definitely help you in English and Vietnamese. And once again, thank you for tuning in and stay safe.
Thank you. Bye.